Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to the 50th episode of the Choking Hazard podcast. With
really?
my 50.
Just like how old you are.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Destroyed. And murdered immediately.
God damn it. Right, that's it. Podcast over. We're done.
Okay, boomer.
The Christmas special, that's what this one is. It's Christmas time. I'm going to try to get this uploaded to the channel and all the audio places for the 24th. So it'll be Christmas Eve when this goes live, but we're recording it on the 22nd. And we've got my usual co-hosts. I'd say usual.
No,
not lately.
It's not too usual anymore.
No. Sugar-free Nos over there.
Hey.
It's a stock picture of RDT down there.
Hello.
If you want to know why you can't see RDT's camera in real time, watch the pre-show. I'll put the pre-show up at the same time as the regular one on YouTube. Watch that. It was basically a nightmare. Skype's causing all sorts of issues with RDT's audio, and that's the image that was left when he left Skype the last time, and we've decided to just roll with it. So it's a podcast. It's audio anyway. We've also got... No spoilers, sorry. It's a big spoiler. We've also got MB Hammer.
What's up?
So we're all going to enjoy the Christmas special 50th episode together. We're 50 episodes in, and we're still having issues. You would think we'd have got this down by now, and it would be running flawlessly, but nope. So, Nos?
Yes.
You're back? This has been a while.
I am back. You decided to accommodate my very busy schedule so that I could be here, which I really appreciate. Because Saturdays, I haven't had a Saturday off since March, maybe. I mean, maybe since I started.
We've done, I feel like the last podcast we did with you was maybe around August time or something. I don't know exactly, but...
maybe something.
We fit one in like summertime.
Yeah, I think I had requested a evening shift on Saturdays, but those suck big pee-pee. They're real bad. I don't like them. So I decided to not do the podcast and instead do the good shifts instead so that I could, keep my mental stability.
So the podcast was, easy to put off to the side. And you just...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's extremely easy. 5 people watch the show. So
well, we've got 400 right now.
Well, that's only residual views from G-Fred, and 3/4 of them are AFK waiting for it to come back. So,
and the fact that we're on a Sunday evening rather than a Saturday evening in the middle of a normal GTA stream.
Yeah, that might help.
Okay.
So,
how you doing over there, RDT? It's kind of weird not being able to, see you.
Yeah, it's tough. I like being able to make my funny facial expressions and react in real time, but you'll just have to imagine and copy and paste from past episodes. Maybe somebody can record themselves making my face and do a deep fake of me saying all these things.
DT deep fake. That's what we need.
Yeah. So the apple juice minute's going to be lame. I don't know. Maybe.
Audio only.
I mean, it would be anyway. Let's not kid ourselves.
Fair enough.
That segment's gone downhill.
That was one of I looked at the suggestion box before the podcast started, and one of the suggestions was just let the apple juice minute die.
Thank you. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Maybe
for a while now.
Well,
who said that?
I thought the last one was pretty good.
There was also another suggestion to replace it with an RDT freestyle minute.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we're moving into a new decade. Things are changing. Nos isn't going to be here as much anymore. Let's just change the podcast entirely.
I've told you the times at which I am available. You are welcome to. You are welcome to rearrange your schedule. Because mine is locked in. All right, because I can't move mine.
So I mean, we We'll see how things go. The podcast's not gonna, disappear or die or anything, but we're gonna have to make some adjustments to see if we can change things around to try and better accommodate things. We'll see how we go.
I do hope. I hope we can like move it or something, because I do miss doing these. So it makes me big sad. It makes me pretty sad. So
yeah, I'm
just slaving away
at Domino's,
slinging dough.
How's it going?
It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Same as what you were doing before, but more.
Yeah, pretty much. Gotten raises. I've gotten promoted. I'm lead driver of this Domino's store now.
So well, that's what you would expect from an ex-Nodo member.
Yeah, I'm the lead driver. Yeah, I'm the fastest.
Yeah,
fastest on the road and in the store.
I wasn't aware Domino's had a
ranking system,
like a precision. Yeah, like a formation driving team.
But I'm basically a manager of all the drivers, essentially. Like
that's cool.
Driving team. So
that's good.
I don't make pizzas yet. I'm gonna have to learn to cross train and be on the make line and make pizzas, which I don't like that. I don't like making food. So but I gotta do it.
You would think if you were sort of manager of drivers, that would be enough that you didn't have to then go make the pizzas too.
No, we're doing a new thing where everyone needs to be cross trained. We're pretty short on people, and we've got too many. We got too many people in the building that don't know enough. So
Nos has gone from driver to team manager, and meanwhile, Bruff is still sitting there clutching his racing license, going.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. But basically, I wanted to put myself in a position at this Domino's where essentially I want to get more money and I want to have more responsibility and kind of be a manager. But if you get stuck in that store, man, you're not making any money, and it's a much higher stress level. So, like, if I can have more responsibility, more money, and also still be a driver, that's the ideal. And I've seemed to have worked my way into a position like that. So.
It seems pretty quick that you've been able to do that as well. It feels like it was only yesterday we were talking about you starting, your job at Domino's.
Well, it was in March. I mean, it's been
crazy.
9 months that I've been here. So
damn, that's how old my nephew is today.
Oh, happy birthday, RDT's nephew.
Yeah, that's right. That I remember that episode because you had a nephew and I had a job.
Yeah, things were changing.
Yeah.
New life.
So, how you mentioned to me in DMs that you were working like 60, 70-hour weeks. Is that still true?
Not this pay period, but the last pay period I did, and probably the next pay period I'll probably be back on it. I've managed to get myself some off days this pay period, which is nice. But yeah, I ended up I worked 126 hours last pay period, which for those keeping track is 46 hours of overtime in a 2-week period, which I mean people work a lot more than that. It's not like I'm pitiful me, but for what is intended to be a job for high school children to work 20 hours a week, that's a big difference.
Yeah, that's a lot of hours.
It is a lot of hours. It is. That's coming. I go in at 9:30. I'm the opening driver, and we're just so shorthanded that I mean they could send me home at like 5 when I've worked an 8-hour shift, but that's just as they're getting clapped, whole business destroyed. Like no way we could get all the orders out if they were to let me go home. So
is that that's not through choice then, that's through just that the store is so short staffed.
Yeah, it's through choice. I could definitely, if I told them that I wanted to go home, they'd send me home.
Okay.
But it's the overtime is pretty good. The overtime pay it's time and a half over 40, which is I mean it's not the best, but it's okay. And especially when you're working those like Thursday, Friday, Saturday shifts, you have union protection. Union protection. This guy. No, it's America.
This is America.
But what I was gonna say that like those days are pretty good tip wise. So like even like yesterday, I actually only worked 5-hour shift, maybe. Yeah, because I switched to somebody so that I could go pick up something we'll talk about later in the show. But I switched and I was the 5 o'clock driver. I came in about 4. And I made $100 in tips. Yeah. That's not bad for a Saturday.
So it's kind of making it worthwhile.
Yeah, it's about, I mean, if you really want to maximize your money and time, you've got to like pick the times that you work there. Like Mondays, trash, garbage.
Right.
Like I'll be there all day and I'll make, $40 in tips. Like there's no point to that. But you come in at like 4 o'clock on a Friday and stay until 9, make $100. So.
Okay. How many hours do you work, RDT?
Like 45, I would say.
What about you?
No, it's
36.
36. Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I work like 9 to 6, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Maybe sometimes 9 to 7, 6:30. It's not really a set clock in, clock out kind of thing.
Yeah. How many hours do you work? Phil's asking me. I tried to limit myself to 40 hours a week, but the last 2 weeks or so have not. that's not happened. So, and my main issue is more trying to not work too much for like thinking. I've done 60, 70, 80 hour weeks on YouTube and streams and stuff. And I can't imagine doing that as like what you're doing, Nos, because it seems so like it's you can't do that for a prolonged period of time. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of. Also, I want to, before the question goes away, Soriano asked, "Do drivers mind here? You got any tipping questions for delivery drivers?" Ask me. But when you tip online, it comes from your card and it's on the receipt. At the end of the night, at least for my franchise, it might be different for other ones, but I think it's the same. It's the same at the end of the night. We get that money at the end of the night, but it's also on your pay stub as a deduction, so taxes are taken from it. So it is preferable for you to, Turbo Sob coming in with the 230 Raiders. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the Choking Hazard podcast, and we'll see you all later as well, because you're all going to leave immediately, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're all going to leave. Who cares? But anyway, it gets cut out of taxes too. Like it's displayed on my taxes. So if you leave me a $10 tip on your card, it's gonna be a little different than you just throwing me a $10 bill.
You'll get less from that.
Yeah, I'll get less. Less of your money will go to me, the driver, if you tip on your card. But that's still great. Like I've never discouraged anyone from pre-tipping on a card.
Yeah.
Like I always thank them, even if unless it's like 50 cents, then I'm not gonna thank them for that. But like $2, $3, $4, $5, yeah. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because I do. It's important. I make base driver pay at my franchise is $7.25 when you're in the store and $5.25 on the road.
Damn.
Human beings can't survive on that kind of money, especially if you've got a child and bills. So,
which you don't.
Yeah, I don't. So it's fine for me. It's fine for someone who lives with his mother that has no bills. It's a great job. I have plenty of money for my hobbies. But if I had bills and responsibilities and a child to feed and stuff like that, no, you couldn't survive on that.
I mean,
so
it's interesting the split between Europe and America, because Mark Verstappen in the chat says tips are just unfathomable for me. You just get paid what you should get instead of living off of tips. Like that, that's how it is in Europe. But in the US, that's absolutely not how it is. You don't get paid what you should get paid.
I would love to get paid the equivalent. Like for some shifts, if I really do the math, I'm making well over $20 an hour.
Yeah.
Like you come in for those 4-hour shifts and you get $100. You're making well out of the range of what is an appropriate pay for a basic level job.
What would you say your average pay would be over all of the hours that you work and all of the money that you would make? What would be your average, taking into account all tips, just as a general guess?
Not including overtime either, would probably be, I'd say, about $12, $13 an hour.
Right.
Something like that.
But so would you prefer it if you were paid those $12 or $13 an hour regardless and didn't get any tips?
I don't know, probably not, because the that's not taking into account taxes either. Like when someone just hands me $10, like, here you go, kid. That's a big difference. If 5 people do that a night, I get $50 of tax-free money that I don't claim. Which is illegal, by the way.
I was going to say you probably shouldn't be mentioning that.
every human being that's ever worked a tip-based job does not report all of their tips. But
as far as the government knows, my barber, when I was still in Philly, he didn't make any money at all.
As far as the government knows. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, but I think my job is probably a little different than being a waiter or a waitress. The tips are certainly different. I don't have experience in that job and what they would say, what people in that position would say. I like that I get tips, especially that I've been able to get raises to where my income from the store for the work I do for the store is above minimum wage too. So it's like I'm working a basic job essentially, but I'm also getting tips. Unlike in a waitressing position where you're getting $2 an hour,
Yeah.
So it's that's definitely
crazy.
why I prefer it. I'm sure that waitresses and waiters would be more inclined to say that they would rather just get paid. They would rather get paid just a fair day's wage instead of relying on tips. But for me, the tips really.
I guess it depends on when you're working as well. Because if you're positioning yourself to have the better shifts, you're going to be relatively better off than if you were working on Monday. If you were working Mondays all the time, you would rather have that consistent wage instead.
Yeah, which is why I've been pushing to get raises and have more responsibility, so that I can have that. So I can have that security of like a normal wage, and then also have the tips on top of that.
Yeah.
Minimum wage is $7.25, and at least in Alabama.
What is it where you are, RDT? Do you know?
I don't even know. I haven't worked minimum wage ever, actually.
Okay.
Surely it's got to be $15.
That's why he's got
right
his AirPods.
I think New York might be up there. I don't know about 15, but I did remember hearing something about that. But every job I've always had paid me above minimum wage, and I've only had 2. So
Okay. All right. Interesting. So, is there any other things going on in your life, Nos? Any other? It's like you're the guest this week, and we're
I'm the guest.
Yeah,
I'm kind of the guest. I mean, not really many changes. There's an update to. Well, did I have the Accord last time I was here?
You did
I don't
not.
think so.
I did not.
It was much of a surprise to everyone in the audience last week when we announced it.
Oh, okay. Well, there have been 2 new additions to my fleet. So originally, I had a '99 Chevrolet Cavalier. That's what I used to do my job most of the time. And it's terrible. It's clapped out old Chevy. It's not good. And then I had my 1990 Mazda Miata, which hopefully everyone remembers that. So I still got both those cars.
we all definitely remember that. We couldn't possibly forget.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't remember it. Tell me more.
It's still a great car. And I've had some work done to it and some things changed and it's running better than ever now.
You're still happy with it. You're still loving it, and
Oh yes, it's great. I'm really looking forward for it to get back to weather where I can put the top down again. It's definitely like a 30% decrease in fun having the top up. I would say. Like if I were to put a number on it, like it's I don't know. The convertible's a big part of the Miata experience, and to not have that kind of sucks. So once we get into springtime, I'll be a lot happier. So I've got the 90 Miata and I've got the 99 Cavalier. About 3 months ago, I had $5,000 saved up. I was thinking about getting another car because I need something that's a normal, reliable daily driver, right? Like I needed a normal adult car because I have a 30-year-old convertible and a clapped out Chevy that's probably about to break down at any moment. So
I feel like that wasn't one of our main criticisms when you were thinking of buying the Mazda in the first place. We were all saying, well, surely there are cars more practical that you could be buying.
Yeah, now don't get me wrong. The Miata is a very reliable car. Like I have no fear to go out there. I would crank it up and drive it to California at the moment. Like it's a reliable car.
You won't.
Yes, here I go. But,
You
but
won't.
it's just very it's a very
Why didn't you do
impractical.
that for whatever PAX or whatever the hell Bruffy was at?
TwitchCon.
TwitchCon,
Yeah.
whatever the hell that thing.
Yeah. Why? Why not? Why?
Because I have a job.
It's always the
have a
job.
job.
It's always
They
the
do
get
pizzas
out
in
easy
California,
clause,
too.
isn't it?
Well, anyway, so I needed a responsible adult car, and a cousin of mine had a 2000, and I need it to be manual. I need it to be manual because I'm not driving automatic until I somehow lose my left leg in some kind of serious accident or something.
Wait, how urban is it where you are?
It is extremely rural.
All right,
Extremely.
okay. Yeah, there's no need
It's-
for because
yeah, my whole. Go ahead.
when I was in the US, having an automatic was like made so much sense in the middle of like San Diego and LA and stuff like that, with all the stop signs, all of the stop start things that you're doing. It made like I got why America uses automatic cars in those situations, but yeah, if you're in a beyond that, a big massive city center, you don't need an automatic.
Yeah. Yeah, and my whole delivery area is really rural too, which is really nice. Like it's just nothing but curvy, fun back roads. It's great. So I needed something. I need yes, Andrew. Everyone at my Domino's smokes weed too.
Really?
Just throwing that on. But I need something normal. I need a normal car that's a normal adult car that's reliable, responsible, and needed a manual. Right. So a cousin of mine had a 2013 4-cylinder Accord Coupe with a 6-speed manual, and I bought that from him for $6,500. Which, from all the looking that I did, that it was a pretty good deal. He gave me a good deal on it. It was a fair, good deal. Runs great, really reliable. Has no problems whatsoever. Got new tires on it recently. It's been a great car. I've really enjoyed having it. So I got that a couple months ago. So then I was up to 3 cars. So I had the reliable daily driver, the work car, and then weekend car. And then literally yesterday, I was looking on Craigslist and I found a 2000 NB Miata with 122,000 miles on the body.
I'm going to put this on the screen, by the way.
Yeah, you can go ahead and show the whole fleet that I've got so far. But it had 122,000 miles on the body. It had a new engine, or not a new engine in it, but it's actually a Japanese engine that the guy imported over, 1.8 from a Japanese MX-5 that he put in. It's got like all new clutch, professionally resurfaced flywheel. Like everything has just been over. Like this guy like lives and breathes cars. He had a bunch of cars in his driveway, and he had it listed for $2,500 because his wife wanted his garage space back. So I called him. I was like, "So you want $2,500 for it, right?" He's like, "Oh, that's my bottom dollar." I was like, "Okay, yeah, no, that's fine." So I ran on over there and I bought myself another Miata. So, like, I mean, I didn't really want another Miata. Like, when I bought if I was going to buy another car, I wanted something to deliver in that was possibly a convertible, possibly not, but I wanted something rear-wheel drive and manual transmission. And I was like, what's the best cars that I know with rear-wheel drive manual transmission?
Oh my god!
But wait a minute, I don't want another Miata, and here I am. I've got a Miata.
What now? What does your mother think of all this?
That's a good question.
She's very supportive.
Does she drive any of the cars?
No.
No.
No, she's got her own vehicle. So, oh yeah, that picture's pre-tornado. Don't worry about it. It's come a monsoon here.
All right. Okay.
But
you know that you
you
currently have double the amount of cars that I've ever owned in my life.
Excellent.
I've only ever had 2 cars over the last 10 years of owning cars. Like, why?
Well, see, I'm not going to move out because moving out would be such an irresponsible decision based purely on principle and the societal like need to move out. Like if I were to move out on my current wage, I would barely be able to live. Like I would have to have some kind of government assistance, especially if I was just moving out single. Like there is nowhere that I could rent, pay all my bills, and even if I sell all my cars, right, and I just have the Accord or something like that, like no, the car it would not work. I'd have to have a roommate or something, and I don't like other people. So, yeah,
yeah. I get
that's why I live.
So
yeah,
but. Like if I ever find myself in a position where I could reasonably move out, and it would be a smart decision as opposed to one that's like I'm just doing it because I'm supposed to. I'll definitely do it, but
now, how much? Like I don't know how much you want to divulge about your savings or your monetary situation, but how much did the second Miata cut into your savings?
Oh, I had I had to get a small loan from my mother
of $1 million from your
of $1 million. Yeah, but no, it was like a legitimate loan. Like I've already paid half of it back because I had just spent like $800 on tires for the Accord like the day before I saw this Miata. So I was like, don't want to miss out.
So was it total impulse buy that car? The new Miata?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, because it was just because I have the paperwork and the receipt for all of the for everything that he put into the car, and like I legitimately believe this man's wife wanted her driveway space back and like has had enough. Get that gay little car out of my driveway right now. You need to price this to sell because the engine alone, I have the receipt for it, was $1,800 shipped from Japan and put in, and the engine has 77,000 miles on it. So and that's not even including what you would pay a mechanic labor to install that engine. Yeah. That's not including the labor you would pay a mechanic to install the flywheel or that he had professionally resurfaced or anything like that. So it was a good deal that I really didn't want to miss out on.
Cammy the witch in chat says Miata greater than people. To be fair, I think most of us would probably agree with that.
Yeah.
Most people, yeah.
Yeah. But what are you still driving the same car, RDT?
Oh yeah. That 04 Accord is just still kicking.
Yeah, Honda gang.
Actually,
well, I have a Honda, so we're all Honda.
The only issue I've had with it recently was the cover for my muffler, like on the undercarriage, was kind of rusted and hanging down. And scraping against the road. So at first I thought it was like radio static, and then I looked under and I realized that it wasn't. And one day it was just hanging down so bad. I was like, I should do something about this, but I really got to get back to my apartment. And so I just took it on the parkway, heading north. And this person was tailgating me. They were in this minivan. And I'm hearing the scrape. It's just... I'm like, Jesus Christ. I knew it wasn't anything, super important to my car. It wasn't going to blow up or anything. This person's on my ass, just and then I hit a bump. All of a sudden, I don't hear the scrape, and the person is half a mile behind me. I'm like,
yes, he deployed a countermeasure.
Yeah.
I was like James Bond. I was like, oil slick. Here we go.
That's good.
Dude, that's something.
And I was going like 90. I was like, Jesus Christ, how fast do you want to go?
Jesus. But is that automatic? That's automatic as well.
I'll share.
Go on.
With my 90 Miata, not the new one I've had since yesterday. So I was driving it home from church a couple weeks back. I downshifted into fourth, correctly, might I add. I don't want to, I didn't do anything wrong. And the car got a lot louder. Turns out that when they rebuilt the engine, and they reattached the exhaust to the exhaust manifold, they forgot to put the nuts on the bolts. So whenever I downshifted to fourth and shook the engine a little bit, it just took that, and that's where my exhaust leak was coming from this whole time. So the car just straight piped itself. Like, it was an easy fix. It just needed bolts and nuts for the exhaust manifold. Yeah, it just needed a couple bolts, but I thought that was pretty funny. That just like the exhaust leak. It's had an exhaust leak since I got it, and it just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and then eventually it sounded like it was awful. So I got that fixed, which is nice.
It's insane how you can't trust professionals to even do their job. Like my cousin had her tires rotated or something, I don't know, and she was driving on the highway, and all of a sudden it just started getting really bumpy. And when she pulled over to the side of the road, like 3 of her nuts on her wheel were off because they didn't tighten them. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's crazy. I think once you find a mechanic that is good and you like, it's like, okay, like my mechanic still, he's the same mechanic that I had back in, when in Hartlepool when I used to live there. I will absolutely make that trip to back home and essentially to go and see him because you never know.
Yeah, I've got a mechanic in my life too, so it's a lot like that. My boss actually recommended him to me, and he has gone above and beyond, over the moon, for me, with all of my cars, and it's been great. Like that man is out here doing God's work. Like, he is doing God's work for people.
Yeah, do you guys have like the equivalent of an MOT, like a test for your car every year that it has to pass to?
Not in Alabama. No, some states do. Alabama is not strict at all. Like, there's no inspection. Like even when I brought a car in out of state, when I bought the Miata, it was from Georgia. There wasn't even an actual visual inspection. It was just a visual inspection of the VIN to make sure that the car is what it says on the title.
Wow, okay.
Like the Miata had a broken mirror that I've since replaced, and some other little stuff wrong with it. They don't care.
Okay.
They don't care. They don't inspect it at all. There's some other states that are really good for that too. Like I don't know if there's any emission testing in Florida. And Montana, certainly. Montana, you can actually register a vehicle with no like inspection at all, and it doesn't even have to be in Montana. Like that's why and there's very limited taxes on that. Do you guys not know this?
No, I just know they're much stricter about their horse registering.
Well, yeah, like that's what supercar owners do to avoid I have money and I live in California. I want to buy a $700,000 supercar, but I also don't want to pay $300,000 in taxes. Time to open a LLC in Montana and register the car through that LLC in Montana with no visual inspection.
Wow, okay.
And get a Montana.
That's why every car at Cars and Coffee has a Montana plate.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. That seems so crazy that like America as a whole, as a country, is excuse me, is happy to allow the individual states to operate like that. Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of like Florida plates around here, or here in New York, as someone mentioned even in the chat. It's like something I don't know how to dodge the system like that. I'm not smart enough to game the government, but people know how.
Yeah, and people are happy to do it.
Yeah, well, and I mean, those are really only on like those special case, like expensive cars. Like if you're just you're going down to the DMV to register your Civic, you probably don't need to open a front LLC in Montana so you can dodge your $200 in taxes.
Yeah.
You probably should just pay your taxes.
Yeah,
but for the government to just have the audacity to charge you $300,000 of taxes on one car just to get a plate, just like everybody else, that's a little silly.
Yeah,
in my opinion. So,
how long have you had your car, RDT?
Since I was 17, since I got my license. So, whatever the math is on that, Mr. Math Man.
Well, how old are you now? 22?
25.
25. Okay. All right, so you've... Okay,
wow,
that's
I wish I was still 22.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, time is... I'm back at like the start of the podcast days, I'm guessing. What's your car situation, Hammer? Do you have a car?
No.
You don't? Do you not need one?
Nope, don't need one.
All right,
don't need one. It would be financially unviable to have a car.
Okay.
When I've got a bus stop right outside my house.
So. Fair.
Yeah, man, I wish I lived in a place where like a vehicle was just a pure luxury, right? Like I could get everywhere that I wanted to go and do everything I needed to do through public transport. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, America's definitely not that place.
No.
Yeah, when I
It's not that place.
Well,
when I
at
go
least the
down to
places
London-
I've been.
Sorry, Hammer.
when I go down to London, I usually fly, and the cheapest flight I've had to London is like $12.99.
Okay. Yeah,
You can get
that's not much.
$12.99 flights to London. I'm not getting a car.
No. You
Wait,
pay
hold up. $12.99 what?
£12.99.
For a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally cheaper to get a flight from Edinburgh to London than it is to get the train from the airport into London city centre.
Yeah.
It's-
No,
it's
that's,
Plane? Is this like the Wright brothers plane? What the hell? What?
No,
there's some
But that's
weird little
insane.
nuances like that in certain
It's a
flights. in the UK.
paramotor. You get to rent a paramotor.
no, it's like it's what is it? An Airbus.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like when we fly to Sweden. It's always really cheap actually flying from Newcastle to London, and then it's the London to Sweden flight that actually is the most of the cost. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's,
Man, also,
it's
I'd like to
I don't
add,
know
how
why
long of a drive?
I don't know why anybody uses the train these days. It's like for Edinburgh to London on the train, you're like $300-400. It's like $20 on a flight. It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm
why
right there
would
with you.
anybody-
Train is just antique technology.
Well, we
It's
actually
very
went on a
Cannot
train
stand
last week. We went down to London on the train, so that's funny that you should
Fuck,
say that.
Fuck that. fuck that. Don't bother with the
We
train.
went. We didn't
Get a
pay.
flight. It's cheaper.
We didn't pay for it, which was all right.
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
I mean, the benefit of the train is that if you're going somewhere right in the centre of London, around King's Cross area, you're right there. You don't need to get a train from an airport into London or whatever. But yeah, most times it's probably just better to get a flight.
And how long of a drive is that for you, bruv? When you get if you were to drive instead of fly?
So train is like through just over 3 hours. Flight would be around. Driving would be around 6 hours. But to be honest, the flight would probably be around 3 hours as well. When you're thinking about how I have to get to Newcastle and then I have to be there early and check in and fly down and then get to where I need to
insane
be.
that I could cut out on that kind of.
The problem is that with getting a flight, it's so, especially if you go to Heathrow, it takes you like an hour to get into the centre of London. So time.
I fly at Stansted, so it's
Stansted.
like 45 minutes.
45. There's still like time added on, whereas with the train, it's like 3 hours from where you are to directly in the centre. So.
Although you can fly to London City. London City's right in the centre, so centre-ish, Canary Wharf sort of area.
Yeah.
Yeah, Voodoo's got
so
my
basically-
mindset. Like if I want to drive to the beach, that's 7 hours. Like
Bloody hell.
like a flight isn't an option. There's no airports.
Wow.
Like if I want to go South Alabama, go to the beach, go down to Mobile or something. That's just 7 hours of driving.
Wow.
That's my only choice.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is kind of crazy how big the US is, really.
Although it's very convenient how small the UK and Europe is. Like I've got friends in Iceland, and it's like an hour's flight to Reykjavik. It's
Yeah, it
great.
doesn't take long. Yeah, like TwitchCon next year in Europe is going to be in Amsterdam, and it's the first time we're actually going to be able to get a direct flight somewhere that we're going. Every other time we've had to go down to London, so we just go straight from and it's so short. I'm like, we can't believe it. We're just going to be an hour and a bit, and we're going to be in Amsterdam. So
Those hour flights are the best. It's just like, we're flying at an altitude of 35,000 feet now, and we're preparing to land. So seatbelts are back on now. So
yeah, you're just up and down again.
yeah.
So, but basically, what we're saying is, between the three of us, we have half as many cars as Nos.
Yes, and my fleet will keep growing.
And
You're gonna
you've
keep
bought
growing.
you've bought all your cars. Well, 3 out of the 4 of your cars. Within the last year. When did you
Under
get
a
them?
year.
Under a year.
I bought the February. So February, March, April, May, June, July, September. Yeah, it's been under a year. I was seeing how many, because I bought the Miata in February. I bought the Accord the end of October, the beginning of November, and then I've bought the other Miata yesterday.
And RDT's had his car for 8 years, and I've had my only second car ever for 5 years. It's like,
I did buy a car when I was 17. I bought a Mini when I was 17, a classic Mini, and I bought it off an old lady for $200 and sold it for $3,000 to my cousin.
Oh, wow.
Dude, that's it. Why'd you sell this?
I put quite a lot.
Why'd you sell? In 5 years' time, NOS's just gonna have like 20 cars out front of them.
I don't know, man. If the only, honestly, I intend on using all of these cars, right? Like, if I ever have a vehicle that I, for some reason, do not use, I would sell. But I intend to use them all. Yeah.
I like what Pseudonymous put in chat.
Me too.
Just check Domino's UK. A flight to London for Hammer is £2 cheaper than a large vegetarian supreme pizza. Yep.
Whoa.
But and also, I want to stress we've talked a little bit about financial responsibility. I'm not making correct decisions here. Okay, let's talk about that. The Accord was a correct decision. Okay.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I will stand by the Accord. The Accord was a good deal for a reliable, modern car with features that is going to last me at the very least. It's got 140,000 miles on it now. Probably, if I take care of it in the meticulous manner that I take care of my cars, 80, 90,000 more, maybe. I mean, there was someone in chat earlier that had a 250,000 mile manual.
My
Accord.
car's about to hit 100,000 miles. First time I've had a car that's done
You've
that.
got the benefit that the Accord's actually a nice looking car, so there's that.
It is.
Excuse me.
Is that wait? That's what you use for Domino's, right?
Well, not all the time. I use it on my slower shifts. I use the Accord on my slower shifts, and then like for those Friday, Saturday shifts where I'm like driving 200, 250 miles a shift, I'll use the Cavalier.
All right, okay.
And I intend to use the Cavalier until it has a problem that is so great that it would be ridiculous to attempt to fix it.
Yeah.
Like the head gasket just explodes, or an axle snaps in half, or something like that. But if it just needs oil changes and it's going to keep running, I'm going to keep it forever until it dies. Like there's no reason, because I couldn't get any money out of it. Like nobody's out here in the market for a 99 Chevrolet Cavalier with 200,000 miles on it. Nobody wants that. So, I'm going to drive it until it dies.
Okay.
So
is that it? Is that all? Are we done with the NOS updates now? Is this the guest portion of this the podcast over, or is there anything else?
Well, Draconis, I don't know how much things are. I don't have any value for money. Haven't you? Can you not tell?
NOS knowing how much things have the value of money.
I would not give the Cavalier to a kid starting out. The car, it's awful. It's an awful car. It's a terrible car. It is objectively terrible. I would not give that to a kid. But yeah, I think that's kind of it. That's kind of all the updates. It's just gonna keep buying cars. And also, I'd like to add that people like, oh, you can buy all these cars. Like these cars are still worth money.
Yeah,
I can still sell them.
Yeah,
I can still sell them. Like it's an asset. I can exchange that for money in an individual sale.
Investment you can make.
It's a terrible. Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, how much is a $2,500 Miata going to depreciate? As long as it is kept in good running shape, it's not going to depreciate that much, right? Like.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's nowhere near as bad as a new car, at least. But
yeah,
still.
I mean, who's going to be willing to pay the same thing that you did? Like, do you think he would have found a buyer as passionate?
He could have listed that car for $3,500 and sold it very easily, In like
to you,
what
you
I
mean.
know about the Miata market, that's at least around here in this area.
The Alabama scene.
Yeah. From
Alabama
listings
Miata
that I have
scene.
seen and from stuff that I have seen sold, he could have listed that for $3,500 and sold it. I could probably list it for $3,500 and sell it within a couple of weeks, pretty easily.
Bottom
I
of the
think
swing now. It starts
$3,500
to be a classic. There's that in mind as well, but I feel like
Yeah, I mean, NA Miata prices are going up. I mean, I see them all the time. Just keep getting listed for more and more and more unreasonable prices. So
that's true. It won't depreciate more than $2,500.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's not like I'm out here buying highly unreliable German cars for $15,000. That yeah, I'm buying responsible, irresponsible things. If that makes any sense.
But
you're not highly unreliable German cars. Do you know?
BMWs, just all of them.
You're not planning to buy any more cars, right? Though, like, are you stopping at 4?
Absolutely. No. I'm gonna buy. The only two things I can think of, I would like to buy a truck. No more Miatas. I don't want any more Miatas because I don't like the NC and the ND's too expensive. But I'd like a truck, and I'd like something that actually has power. That's actually kind of fast.
So you want an American big old truck and an American muscle car, is what you're saying?
Not necessarily a muscle car, just anything that is actually kind of fast.
Okay.
So, like, because all of my vehicles are really slow. The Accord is I mean, it's swift, but it's still slow. What I need is a C4 Corvette. Those little lights flip around, just woo, and I got headlights, digital dash. That's what I need. I need a C4 Corvette. The Honda S2000 is an excellent vehicle. It's also worth way too much money.
It's a C3. I like the C3.
Speaking of the S2000, do you hear Honda are working on a new S2000?
I hope so.
All right.
They are. They're working on an S2000 concept.
Cool.
I'm quite excited.
When was the last time they did anything with the S2000?
Early 2000s.
Yeah, it's 2000. Yeah, 2006 was the last year for those, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the for the experience that that kind of car gives you, the Honda 2000 is just objectively the best car for that experience, in my opinion. Like, it's not the best one for the money, but it's the cream of the crop, top of the pile.
That's what everybody always says. Like, it always just comes at the top of every list of any car satisfaction survey.
It's just subjectively great. It's everything that the Miata set out to do, just better in every way. That's just what it is. I mean, it's got a cooler engine, revs to 9,000. It's fast.
So why didn't you buy one of those?
Because those are like $15,000.
Okay, fair enough.
The used prices on them are unacceptable, unacceptably high.
There's an S2000 tribute concept coming to the Tokyo Car Show. I've popped a picture of it, and it doesn't look like they've done much work.
It doesn't need to, because the design on the S2000 is timeless. That looks like it was made today. Like, I mean, it looks
is a good-looking car.
I mean, it looks every bit as good as it looks better than the ND Miata, for sure, in my opinion. Yeah. Like, it's just a timeless look. It really is great.
I really like the new. I don't know what MC and MD is. We're given it's different. The MX-5s in the UK and stuff, but I really like the new MX-5 look.
Yeah,
that's a very very new one. I like that.
The RF with the folding target top. Oh, hello.
Yeah, it's really good.
Right, so should we move on to a different topic?
Sure.
Well, I mean, it's the Christmas special. What are our Christmas plans? Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. Christmas time. Although I do have little Christmas plans. I think I'm gonna have Christmas Eve off, but the store will be open until 10. So the people who are closing on Christmas Eve, my grandmother's gonna make some monkey bread, which, if you don't know, is like a dessert item that's like bread. It's cinnamon, brown sugar kind of deal. You can look it up.
Bread and butter pudding.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take that to the closing crew, Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
Look at us all grown up.
Yeah, because they're out here letting everybody else on our staff spend time with their family. So
When does the store reopen after Christmas? Is it the Boxing Day?
It'll be closed Christmas Day. So yeah, we're open until 10 on Christmas Eve, and then closed Christmas Day. And we were closed Thanksgiving too. Those are the only 2 days of the year we're closed.
Okay.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
So Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, it's going to be pretty chill for you.
Yeah, I'm honest. I think I'm just gonna drive around in my two Miatas, honestly, like, all day. It's supposed to be sunshiny and 65, so I thought I might be able to put the top down around
warm
1
Christmas.
o'clock.
That sounds so weird to me.
Yeah, like that should be the high is about 65. So assuming it's not super cloudy or super windy, I'll probably drive both of my gay little cars around all day.
Stop saying that.
They are. Look, my car. Look, they just are gay. The cars are gay. I can't help it.
That's not
No, of course it's 2019. I accept them for what they are. They're gay. Like, that's just they've always been gay. They've been gay since they were born and created in Japan. All right, they're just gay. That's it. I mean. That's not bad. I'm not saying that's
at least
bad.
they have each other. Like at least you know. Do you know the gender of each of your Miatas?
I think they're kind of gender fluid, honestly.
65 Fahrenheit is 18 Celsius in real numbers for those who are asking.
Yeah, in numbers that only have relevance in chemistry or cooking applications. So yeah.
What about you, RDT? Have you got any plans for Christmas? It's only 3 days away.
Yeah, it's crazy. I still have a little bit of shopping to do.
Ooh.
My sister, she's gonna bring my nephew down and her husband. You know, they're gonna hang out. I got him a couple things. Well, I got him one thing. I got him a little thing that he can stand up on because he's grabbing onto everything and standing up. He's crazy. But he can like push it. He can like push it around and walk a little bit. So that's gonna be fun. That's pretty much the thing I'm looking forward to is just seeing him get all his presents. Not that he knows anything because he's a baby, but you know.
Not that he understands what's happening because he's a dumb child. But
you know,
there's definitely that transition has happened where now it's more about the giving than the receiving at the minute.
Yeah, like my mom kept asking me, she's like, "Oh, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want?" I'm like, "I don't want anything."
I've been the same.
I'm 25.
Dude. Isn't
I'm
that
like,
crazy to be in that position? Like, now
yeah, she's like, "It's
I kind
Christmas."
of have everything.
I'm like, I don't care. I don't want anything. But yeah, so that's pretty much it.
It's a big
We're gonna be
old-fashioned
here
family Christmas sort of thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Cool. What about you, Hammer?
Just the usual. Heading home to spend Christmas with my my mum and my sister. Just the usual. Quiet one for me.
Yeah, I get that. We're having a quiet Christmas.
Us Scots usually go a bit more gung-ho on Hogmanay, which is New Year for those that don't know.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve. Not that I do that either, to be honest.
Again, people.
You know.
Yeah, we're having a quiet Christmas too. Especially with this year has been in the last few months, so much going on. Just gonna enjoy our now owned house and chill.
Yeah.
Good call.
You and the guinea pigs.
Yeah, absolutely. They're still here as well. They both had operations this year, so we're operations that are like not the most straightforward of things. So
I couldn't imagine operating on something that tiny.
Yeah.
They did surgery on a grape, Nas. I think they can do surgery.
Well, I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying that.
No, not
crazy.
guinea pigs roasting by an open fire. No, definitely not that.
Ooh.
Jeez. You never did that in bio or something? You never went into the guts of a baby pig or something?
I was homeschooled. I didn't have a biology class. I didn't have
We
any
never
class.
did anything like that in biology.
Really? You never dissected animals?
No, never did that.
No,
You would do something so barbaric as dissect an animal?
Man, they were dead.
Like the year before I started proper biology in school was the year that he stopped dissecting animals in the UK. So
wow.
Okay.
They don't do that anymore.
I'm kind of alright with that. Gas mark 5 for 35 minutes. No. Oh, can
you can pretty much just
earlier.
teach it all from a book anyway, can't you? Really?
Yeah.
Like a video game. You could just do like an online version of it. That's what I had to do.
I think we should make everyone do the biology class from Bully, the video game Bully.
Yeah.
I think that
Still haven't played Bully.
You need to
play Bully.
You do need to.
Yeah.
You do need to. It's one of the best Rockstar games.
Yes, very good.
It's great.
Speaking of, my train of thought just went to games. There's another thing. I haven't played a lot of games, and then it went to, I actually have been playing a game, Star Wars. We talked about it last month.
Finally.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It looks really good.
It's great.
What a game. I'm close to the finish, but I haven't finished it yet. But such a good game. The gameplay, the story, just everything about it. Really, really good. I just want to follow up on that.
It's a solid game, and probably my game of the year, I would say.
It was probably,
I would agree with that,
RDT and Hammer that kind of talking about it so highly as they did last month. I kind of thought, all right, next gameplay is going to be that. I'm definitely in agreement. Have you checked it out, Nos?
I've just watched some stuff. I haven't played it. I can play it. I have Origin Access. I could play it, but I don't have the time. So,
but are you like favorable to it? Are you thinking it's a good game?
Oh yeah, it looks good. It looks looks really fun.
A game that all four of us like.
There you go.
Bruh, what difficulty did you play on?
And that's saying something because it looks like a game that doesn't rely on the fact that it's Star Wars as like a crutch to make you like it. Like it just looked like if it was a completely different theme, if it was unbranded space game 4, it would be great. It looks like it'd be great. So I appreciate that.
I mean, I would go as far as to say they sort of remove themselves a little bit from the Star Wars side of things with the gameplay, because the lightsaber isn't a proper lightsaber in that game, really. You can just
I'm glad that they decided
for
to
ages.
They
slashing
made
at things for ages, and then they finally die. It's like, that's not.
They made the choice to sort of go more gameplay oriented and focus on that than Star Wars. And I agree. That was a good choice.
What brings you into the game is the story. It's so well written and so well acted, and it's really well done. It was so
it's got
interesting.
Some big name actors in it too, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Cameron Monaghan from Gotham. He's the lead character,
and then a few of the guys from the actual Star Wars movies as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's just
great game. But to answer your question, RDT, I played it on the default difficulty. Jedi Knight, is it?
Is that the one right below the hardest?
The one below that.
Below hardest.
The one above story.
Okay.
Have you finished it now, RDT? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I finished it like within the first week or something like that on the second hardest.
Dude, I want to know how you work 46 hours a week and you finish video games. How's that?
Well, my hours are 9 to 6. I get home at like 6:30. I make dinner and I play games from like 7 to 10. So
yep.
You got no other responsibilities.
Nah, when I was injured, in doing jiu-jitsu, I kind of had some time off. But I'll be going back in the new year and not have as much time to play video games. So.
Well, what happened? We didn't hear about your jiu-jitsu injury. What happened?
Oh, I never told that?
No, you never.
Well, we were doing a drill, or not really a drill, but we were trying this new move out where basically a person's on their hands, their elbows and knees, and the person's on top of them, and they have to try to get the person on their elbows and knees to their back. So they kind of like tilt them over, push it, do this limb manipulation stuff. And I was rolling with the professor, and I guess I just fought against it a little hard. And so I kind of got lifted into the air, and he dropped his shoulder right onto my rib, and I think cracked it.
No.
And so it hurt a lot during that practice. And I thought nothing of it. I thought I was going to recover. So I went to 2 more classes the next week, and it just like made it worse, and I couldn't breathe after. So I was bruised for a little while and kind of have been hesitant to go back.
Ouch.
Yeah, I can
Understandable.
imagine.
Yeah, but I'll go back in the new year.
Good man.
Speaking of games of the year, you brought this up with no time to prepare.
I know. It was totally my fault. Jessie Thieves in the Night in chat. She mentioned it to me like 2 weeks ago, and I completely forgot to put it in the chat that we share. So I apologize for that.
So I'm trying to think of what games I actually played this year.
Yeah, I haven't.
Did I start the year with the Hex, or was that the end of last year?
I think that was this year.
Yeah, I think it was the first game I played was the Hex. Then we did A Way Out, then Brothers, Lego City Undercover, a lot of the Gears of Wars, Rhyme, and then Star Wars. Don't me.
I wasn't ughing you. I was ughing the games.
Okay, fair enough. Lego City Undercover was surprisingly good. I didn't.
Are we talking about games we've played this year?
Well, games of the year.
Games that came out this year.
Games that you've played this year, I think.
But I don't think you could give a indication on game of the year if you hadn't played it, surely. But yeah, Lego City Undercover really surprised me. That was really, really good fun.
Yeah, that was a good recommendation from me, for sure.
I think Wreckfest should get some sort of honourable mention in this thing that we're doing because of the updates that they've had this year. They've been really, really fun, I think.
That's true. And it came out on console this year as well, right?
It did.
And that was a big update to the game in general. I mean, Wreckfest is really good.
Good job, Bugbear. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing what you're doing in 2020.
And I think Star Wars overall is probably objectively the best game, just when you're taking into account everything that you could take into account for a game. But my favourite personally was the Hex.
Yeah,
I loved that game. So good.
The Hex is a very, very clever game.
Yeah, really clever.
Really, really nicely put together as well. Great
story, great game idea. So good on so many different levels. But I think it is an indie game, so it's like shorter than say Star Wars. It doesn't have quite the same level of gameplay or polished. Say, but it's not as big. It's not a AAA title like a Star Wars game is. But that was my ultimate favorite this year, I think, as an experience.
Yeah, I'd like to mention the game Horus as well. If nobody's ever heard of that, probably. The game Horus is about it's like a 2D 16-bit platformer, but it's fiendishly difficult and it's just packed full of British references and whatnot. Such a great game, brilliant story. Fiendishly difficult platforming, really, really fun. I was lucky enough that the developer joined me in chat when I was playing it on Twitch, and I was also lucky enough to meet the developer when I was at EGX in London. Cool. So it was cool. Got to meet the developer, tell him his game was fantastic and whatnot.
Cool.
Not Horace Goes Skiing, just Horace on its own. Look it up. It's a great game. Everybody buy it. It's fantastic.
And I see some of you are already doing that in chat, but feel free to put in your own favourite games and reasons.
Yeah. Oh, we had Untitled Goose Game this year as well, which was lovely.
I need to play that.
So it was a lovely little game.
I don't know. I haven't played anything. I haven't played any video games to completion for sure this year. I don't think.
Oh, really?
I played a little bit of Outer Worlds. It seemed cool, but I didn't get back into it.
You're lucky you didn't.
Well, I don't want to talk to you. Okay,
it's not good.
What?
We have
Are you on crack?
Nope.
You're saying
we had this same discussion last month.
We did.
Did we?
We're treading on.
I can't remember. 2 days ago. My alcoholism has deteriorated in my brain.
It's all right. I'm 2 big drinks in now, so that's why I'm talking a bit more.
But yeah, I haven't played any games. So you
don't really have an answer.
I played Detroit Become Human, but I don't think that counts, and that's awful. That's some garbage. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. This trash. So,
how can it be fun and enjoyable but trash?
Man, have you never? Oh yeah, all the David Cage games are on PC now, so you should play them.
You can experience their terrible controls.
But dude, like, have you not ever watched like a TV show that's just like so bad that it's funny?
I don't know. I
genuinely
don't find things like that funny.
Oh well, then. Okay then. Well then you maybe. Well no, you'll like it because you won't question it too hard, and you'll be able to take it seriously and enjoy it. But if you start asking questions about David Cage's writing, it falls apart.
Okay.
It's
if you
pretty on the nose.
Any kind of deeper.
I mean, they put the robots on the literal back of the bus in the first scene. Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's pretty on the nose then.
David Cage, it's time to stop.
Got you.
Right.
What about you, RDT?
For interpretation there.
They're tin cans, David Cage. They don't have feelings. They're robots. Stop. It is not analogous to actual racism. Stop.
I feel that given the way that everybody feels about BD1 in Star Wars, I don't think we would be that mean to robots, to be honest. If they were as cute as BD1.
If they were as cute as BD1, yeah. BD1 is the greatest.
It's game over. It's game over. They could overthrow the Earth and we wouldn't even give a damn.
No. As long as they're cute.
As long as they're cute.
What about you, IDT? What are some of your top games this year?
Definitely Star Wars. That would be up there. Untitled Goose Game was fun while it lasted.
What about that Crackdown? What about Crackdown 3? Great game, huh?
Did not play that. Yeah, Crackdown 3 came out.
It eventually came out. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I played it for about half an hour, and then I streamed it. I was like, wow, this is trash. Resident Evil 2 was good, but I got stuck at one point because I'm just in a part where I just don't have any ammo or health, and I keep getting killed by the same zombies because I can't avoid them because they're cornering me. So I'm like, do I have to start a new game? It's like, I don't know. Those are pretty much the two. Okay. I would say Star Wars and Resident Evil 2 remake.
Has anyone played? What was the game of the year? Sekiro.
That's fun. Never beat it.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it like a Souls-like game? Is that game like a Souls-like?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. See, I can't do them. I don't like them. Don't like them. Not for me.
All right, then play Fallen Order on a lower difficulty for sure. Which honestly, Fallen Order is not even that hard. If you just get the parrying down, you're fine.
Does Red Dead 2? I don't think Red Dead 2 counts like in this discussion. That was Game of the Year last year.
Yeah,
I beat that by the end of October. So
yeah, I beat that like day one. So
have either of you guys jumped back into online though?
No.
GTA Online?
No, Red Dead Online.
Oh, Red Dead Online? I've played
still
it a little.
up.
Yeah, I mean they've honestly I like Red Dead Online. Honestly, I really do, especially now that I can like play with a mouse and keyboard. I mean, I genuinely think it's a fun game, and they're starting to add like you can own like a shack now that has a bar in the bottom that's really cool.
Shack.
Well,
Goodness.
Well, it's not a shack. Maybe my choice of noun was a bit off there, but you can own properties
so
now
to give you a shack.
But listen, it has an underground bar that's really cool. You can own properties. It's starting to be like GTA Online kind of. But the problem is, I don't have money in the game, and I don't have time to grind for the money, and I'm not going to pay for it, so I don't play it. So, if a money glitch comes along, and I all of a sudden have $100,000 and a bunch of gold, I would really enjoy Red Dead Online, but I'm not gonna bother working in the game.
Yeah, so I think that's something that everyone always says, you just don't know how to grind money. You just need to grind money. Stop complaining when we're all talking about prices of things. And it's like, yeah, when you get to a point where you're working a full-time job, you don't want to come home and also have to work in the game that you're about to play. So
it's like, hang on, look at the words you're using there. Grind.
Yeah,
That sounds
yeah.
like a nice, happy, fun word to you. It doesn't to me. So
But
I'm not going to bother.
If you are in Red Dead Online and you have like enough money to buy all the cosmetics and all the horses and stuff that you want, and you can just kind of do what you want. You can do bounties, you can do little collectibles here. You can go over here and you do some of the trader, you do some hunting, and not be worried about that. I mean, it's genuine. It's genuinely a fun time. I like it. But you can't do that because there's so many different paywalls, just like in GT Online.
You can't just jump back in.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Don't get me wrong, I know that there's people who like grinding in games, and that's why games that are about grinding have existed for God knows how long, but not every game has to be about like that.
I don't know if that's the only reason. I'm pretty sure they put the grinding in to make people pay extra money.
No, I mean before there was, any kind of pay walls or pay structure on microtransactions. There were some games that were just designed as grindy, but not every game has to be like that. Speaking of grindiness and online stuff, GTA's latest DLC, have any of you actually checked it out?
I have.
Yeah. I have, yeah.
The arcades are cool. Let's talk about that. I think they're cool.
I haven't actually even tried the arcade games yet because I haven't been in an arcade where people have had them.
Dude, the Wild West one that's like a point and click shooter on mouse and keyboard, so it's like you're straight up cheating is so fun. It's like headshot.
One of the first games I ever played as a child was a game called Operation Wolf. And that game in the arcade is very much like that. Operation Wolf was like that, except Vietnam or something. And it was on the Commodore 64, and it was great. So it was a lot like that. But yeah, the arcade games are fantastic. Although I will say the crane game in the game is a little bit annoying because instead of like developing a proper physics-based crane game, they just went with a random luck generator crane game, and it's not great. It's not great. Considering you do want the rewards, and I've seen people spending up to 2 hours to actually get the one reward that they want to get. So
I'm gonna check out somebody's when we get into an online session at some point. I'll check out the full thing, but I am pretty impressed because all the feedback from the DLC about the arcade seems to have been good. Like, I'm genuinely impressed that they've made good games, like little arcade games, but they've made so many of them and they've actually done them well. That's pretty cool.
I would like them to take every single business out of the arcade, out of the game, all of the bunkers, the facilities, and everything, and just have an arcade. Focus on building an arcade chain. Can I just have like an arcade management game? I don't want Grand Theft Auto anymore. I just want to run an arcade.
And we haven't even talked about like the actual heist. The core of the entire DLC.
I haven't even played it yet. I
haven't played it either, but from what I understand, it's like pretty good. Like you go in and you actually like look at everything, and you have to like look for points of weakness. And then you can go like different routes, and apparently like don't the routes change like mid route? Like if you pick one route and then you do something different, you can go on to another plan or something. Maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's what heist should have been, I think, in the original.
Yeah, not so linear.
It's a lot more like the single player, but a lot better. If you know what I mean, the single player heist, but a lot better because they have fail states in them.
I don't know if I'll ever play them. I don't know if I'll ever be in a situation where I'll have that much spare time and 3 people. But
I intend to play through them, and I'm looking forward to like having the new experience. Whether I'll replay them, I don't know, but they're meant to have good replay value. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. Mark Verstappen said the arcade is actual passive money. Like, you don't actually do anything, but the money that you make from the arcade is so minuscule that it would take you... Well, we worked it out on stream. It would take you, like, what was it? It's like 300. Was it like a year of gameplay or something? Oh, it was no. It was like it was something ridiculous, like a year, 2 years, something like that, of constant gameplay with your game on to make your money back that you spent on all of the arcades. Like, it was so ridiculous. $5,000 every 45 minutes, but you're spending so much on them. So yeah, it is it's completely passive income, but you're not going to make your money back. But yeah, I genuinely think it's one of the better DLCs that we've ever had. At least in recent, memory.
What about the cars? Like, what do you think about the cars? I'm not a big fan of most of the cars, honestly.
I think the cars are actually quite good. Well, at least in terms of like the variety and additions that they've added.
Oh yeah. It's just I don't know, the particular choices. I don't know. I guess they're just not to my taste.
It annoys me that the Furia has Koenigsegg doors, but they don't put Koenigsegg doors on their Koenigsegg analogs. I mean, come on, eh?
Yeah.
If you're going to... Like, they've clearly gone through inventing the animation for that door, specifically for that car, but not put it on the Koenigsegg.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
Also, I think I'm kind of desensitized to, like, them adding cars, because any car that we could possibly want has already been added on 5M, kind of. So
yeah, I get a little bit of that.
Cool. You got an F1 car? Yeah, we had that 6 months ago.
Yeah,
we professionally modeled 6 months ago.
Formula E car? Yeah, we got that covered.
Yeah, you're a little late. We've already got that.
But I have to say, it's still like kind of amazing that we're sat here talking about them. Rockstar adding 2 open wheel Formula 1 cars to GTA. Like, I never thought that was ever going to happen. I couldn't believe it.
But I have a question. So there's going to be like a new race type, right? I've been told.
Yes.
And it has like tire wear and pit stop. Tell me about that.
It has tire wear, and you can choose either hard, medium, or soft tire compound in the lobby. The softs are quicker but will not last as long, and hard is opposite. And you have to make a pit stop, go into the pit. It's kind of like an arena war style pit functionality, I think. And you can go into the pits and repair your tires. And if you don't, they'll lose grip and then pop.
But why?
I don't know.
Why is this being added?
That's what I don't understand. I don't know.
It's so weird, and it's not out yet. It's going to be a drip feed, right?
Yeah.
At some point.
But I also don't know why, like, it's just specific for the open wheelers. Like, we would want a working, functional pit lane for all the other classes in all the other races. So I'm still on the fence about the implementation, as always with Rockstar.
And
you never know.
Like, what tracks are you going to be racing? Are these like interiors that you'll be in? Like, do we know?
Well, no, you would have to, like, I think it's going to be a creator thing, so you can copy pre-existing creator tracks into the new start of circuit, like it would be for, if you're turning it into a transform race or it's just like another mode like that.
Well, then how would the pit lane work then?
Well, it's a prop.
There's a whole bunch of new props that you get. Like there's like a pit lane prop, like Bruff just said, but there's also there's like hairpin props now and whatnot.
Yeah, there actually is a full-on pit lane prop as well. Yeah, it's got like it's the start grid, and then it peels off. Like there's a separate section entirely for the pit lane with pit boxes where you repair your car. Like, it's kind of crazy, even if the implementation is garbage and they don't make it functional in any way that we can use it for a proper race. It's still amazing to me that someone at Rockstar is deciding that I'm going to make something like this.
Let's say, here you go. Yeah. You can have, there's your little pit lane prop.
Yeah.
we know you're still out there racing. Here you go. There's a little tire compound you can only use on one car. You know?
But, it's nice to have something like that. I'm still, on the fence about how they're going to implement it, but still.
I'm kind of excited to see what they do. I mean, I'm interested.
I'm more excited to see what the community does.
Yeah, of course, as always with these things. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because normally with these sorts of things, Rockstar release their own races first, and like it's a new game mode. So I'm curious how they are going to treat it. Like what tracks are they going to have as their stock tracks, like stunt tracks in comparison to tracks we have now from the community.
Like just I wonder, do my tires still wear as I'm flying through the air off this sick jump in my F1 car? I wonder how serious it'll be.
Yeah, but interesting nevertheless. Have you checked it out, RDT? All this new stuff?
I did a heist finale at one point with somebody, and they hadn't done all the setups or something. Because I guess you could just do the heist finale whenever you want.
I think there's the more setups you do, the better like ability you have to do the heist, but you don't necessarily have to. Some of them are optional, I think.
Well, you just walk in the front door with a gun and say, "Put the money in the bag."
There's missions. There's missions like you have to take out the casino security deliveries. So if you do that, there's like 10 people dotted around the map that you have to take out in 10 minutes. And if you do that, then the casino security guards have half armor and half health during the mission. So if things go wrong, then they're easier to take out. Things like that. So it's pretty cool. And you can choose the level of security cards that you go for. So if you choose like a level 1 security card, then you have to hack the doors. If you choose a level 2 security card, then you don't have to hack the doors, but then you have to do the mission to get the level 2 security cards and things like that.
I like that. I really like that idea.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess they didn't do those, and I wasn't aware of that. And so we were going in there, and they had like all the people had full armor, had these awesome guns, and we had SMGs and little shotguns, and basically did nothing. And I was like, well, this is trash. This is the worst thing I've ever done. Yeah. So it wasn't fun, and I haven't really gone back.
I think if you don't do that mission that I just mentioned, where you take out the armor and whatnot for the casino, I'm pretty sure the casino security guards have assault shotguns, so you're pretty much one shot.
Oh my gosh!
It was brutal. I was like, I went through all my armor, all my snacks. I was like, this is so terrible.
I went through all my snacks. I still love that.
I got no more P's and Q's. I was like, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
So it can be as difficult or as easy as you make it, really.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to GTA Man. GTA Man's been working tirelessly over this past few weeks.
I've seen him tweet about that and all the videos he's putting out. Yeah,
route to make the most money possible and whatnot, and like some of the things that you can optionally buy each time you do the heist as well. You can buy like a clean car to be stored somewhere, so you can just get into that, and then you'll lose your wanted level.
Right.
But like, you don't need to do that because the casino is right next to the sewer entrance, so you just fire it there, and then you just lose your you lose
it immediately anyway.
It's not worthwhile. So yeah, shout out to GTA Man, because he's been working every single variation of the heist possible to work out the best way to do it.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
What's the profitability of it like? Because initially it seemed like people were saying that it wasn't that good, but it also seems like that was when people hadn't really worked out the best way to do things. So once people work out how quickly they can do it, it feels like maybe the profitability will get better, but I don't know exactly if the math has been worked out on that.
It's variable based on, there's 3 different types of heists that you can do. There's a silent and stealthy way that you can go in, a big con way that you can go in, which involves disguises and whatnot.
That's the one I've chosen initially.
But there's a lot of setup missions to do. And then there's just all guns blazing, and you get the least amount of money for all guns blazing, which kind of makes sense. But there's also a variation based on what you're actually stealing. So you can steal money, you can steal artwork, and I think you can steal diamonds, something like that. And then
I think the diamonds
obviously
are locked right now,
earns you
right?
the most.
Yeah, diamonds are special, like that, isn't it? Gold, as Phil said in the chat.
Or gold, yeah. Sorry, it's gold at the moment, but diamonds is locked. So yeah, it's layered and very interesting, I would say.
Interesting. It's going to be interesting. I mean, from what I've been seeing in the chat, including the preps, the best way they can be done is in 90 minutes. So if it takes 90 minutes from start to finish, you're going to have to get at least... Well, if the most profitable thing you can do in game right now is $500,000 an hour, if you're getting more than $750,000 for those 90 minutes, then it's better than, say, just running import export and doing something else or doing the other heists, whatever. So interesting.
You also you pay more for your heist crew and whatnot, so it's a bit like single player where you hire a different crew member to get different benefits. So you can hire, for example, you can hire a driver that only supplies supercars, and you can hire one that only supplies like armored vehicles and whatnot, and it costs more for the armored vehicles.
What's the one for a sticker bombed Asia? That's what that
Well, the thing that GTA men found out was because you're so close to the sewers, you don't really need to go for like decent cars. You can just get in a crap car and just like go around the race course and into the sewers. And you're fine.
I've seen it's also in the chat. It's better to do it with two people. You can make around 800-ish with two people if you're stealing art or gold. So it's only, they're never going to make it more profitable really than anything that's already in the game, I imagine. Like that 500k an hour limit is if you're truly grinding. I don't think that's going to increase for doing these heists, but...
Yeah, they've locked a lot of the stuff behind replayability as well, which is annoying, like a lot of the new costumes and whatnot.
Yeah,
you
I saw that.
You have
That's
to
annoying.
play the heists to actually get the new costumes you have to play the heists to have the ability to buy the new costumes, which is so dumb. But yeah, it's typical Rockstar these days, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the only, like, this has probably been one of the better DLCs, I think, but the prices for everything and the paywalls for everything and the entry costs for everything are almost as bad as they've ever been, to be honest.
Yeah.
So there's always that. What can you do? That's how it is. That's Rockstar for you. Don't buy shark cards. $3 million fire truck. Did you know about that, Nos?
Oh yeah, I saw that. The like you can and like the lifeguard SUV and stuff is like $800,000, or you could just
spawn it,
go get one.
Yeah,
just like the hearse, because they didn't think to fix that.
Same with that works with the Bugstars burrito as well. I forgot to mention that in my video, but the Bugstars burrito you can get that for free too. But
that's so stupid.
$3 million for a fire truck. That is, when you call Pegasus, it's going to be in a worse location than if you just called 911. It's a Pegasus vehicle, so you're only paying $3.3 million to call Pegasus instead of calling 911 and steal that one. And that 911 fire truck actually comes to you, whereas you've got to go to wherever the Pegasus decide to drop it. It's unreal.
That's so. Although I hope that this is them moving in the direction of the next DLC. They'll just let us buy and customize police cars finally. After all this time.
Is this not the last DLC that people are speculating about? Or do we have another summer one still?
There's going to be more, I think.
As long as GTA Online is still as profitable as it is, I'm sure they'll keep making content. But that's what I've wanted this whole time through this whole game. Just let me buy and customize all the police vehicles, please.
You know how much that's going to cost if they pay $3.3 million for a fire truck. I don't care. Yeah, to be fair, the things in this DLC have looked like it's opened up a little bit with that, with the fire trucks and the secured, like the prison guard outfits and the firefighter outfits and stuff like that. They've done like
police outfits.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They've gone right up to the point of police, but not quite police.
Oh no! But you've got noose outfits. You can have noose outfits, but not police.
Okay, that's so weird.
Well, anyway, that's what I still want from them. Is just let me buy and customize police cars. That would add like 20 cars from the game that I want. That'd be great.
All right. So, are there any other topics that anyone wants to bring up before opening up the phone bank?
Can I just bring up one? The Witcher Netflix TV series.
I've heard it's good.
Previewed on Friday, premiered on Friday, and I've completely finished it, and I can say it's absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. It's so good. Good job, Netflix.
A game adaptation has actually been good.
Not a game adaptation.
No, sorry. Yeah, it was the books first, wasn't it? Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah,
it's an adaptation of the books.
Yeah, okay. My bad.
And can I just say, Henry Cavill as Geralt is just so good. So unbelievably good. He's just brilliant. He's so good.
Is it worth watching for someone who doesn't know anything about Witcher and hasn't played the games or hasn't read the books?
Well, this is something that I said to Jessie. I said that she's not completed the game yet either, but I said that it might be quite confusing to people that haven't played the game, because there's a lot of concepts in the TV show that they just flat out don't explain. They just take it as given knowledge. And it's a bit like, oh, that might be a bit daunting for people to understand.
Why does Geralt have two swords? Like stuff like that?
No, that's kind of touched upon, so that's kind of covered. But like things that are a little bit more complex, like why the world is the way it is, like the conjunction of the spheres is what's happened. And it sort of vaguely touches on it in the thing, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that it doesn't explain, and I think that might put a few people off. But you can go into it if you want, just completely not played the game, and it'll make a little bit less sense, but it's still a good watch, I would say.
There you go, TV recommendation. There you are.
Absolutely.
There you are. The Witcher. So should we... Is there anything else? Nobody got anything else?
I mean, it's the end of a decade.
It is the end.
It is the end of a decade. Yes, you're right.
I mean, did you guys ever think when GTA 5 was revealed in 2011 that it would spawn something like this and this following?
Was it 2011 that they announced it?
Yep, that was the reveal trailer.
Wow.
Yeah, is that the one with the Bodhi that in the wind farm with the gigantic dust plumes and the...
Can't remember, but I looked up when it was revealed, and it was 2011.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's been quite the decade for me, certainly. I never thought that this would be how the decade would end.
Man, it's been a decade for me, too. I became an adult. It's insane. Kinda.
Good for you, Nos.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Didn't we all? You know, we were all just...
In some way.
No, I mean, Bruff, you were an adult when the decade started, weren't you?
It's 20 years old,
just
right?
about, I suppose.
You're 40?
You were still living at home.
Yeah, I think age-wise I was an adult, but not really.
Wait. Hang on. So, hang on. When the decade started, I think I was probably about the same age as RDT is now.
Well, how old are you now? It's a pretty simple math, this one.
35.
Okay, yeah. You're how old I am now.
Yeah.
5 years between us three. Goes 25, 30, 35. Nos, where do you fit into that?
I was 12. I think I was 12 when the decade in 2010.
Okay.
Because I'm 22 now. If that's how math works.
That's crazy. 20 years old. I hadn't even finished university.
Man, I was 12. Dude, I know exactly what I was doing. I was playing Red Dead, the original Red Dead multiplayer. That's what I was doing back 10 years ago.
I was probably still playing. I think I was playing GTA 4 online racing, and Mass Effect games, and Guitar Hero games. That's what I was doing. God, it's crazy. It's been quite the decade.
We've somehow come so far, but not far at all.
And now we sit here on a dying podcast talking about garbage.
Podcast.
Yeah, please. It's a dead podcast.
It shall be reborn in 2020, damn it.
We'll have another decade of episodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another 10 episodes.
My better judgment. I'm going to try this.
It has been. GTA's pretty much brought us all here. That's true. I mean, we got to give GTA some credit for being good enough to do that.
Some credit. Yeah.
It's a shame that it started out with so much promise, but ended up with bad times.
Yeah.
Bad money.
But we had the good times too. You can't forget the good times.
We did have the good times. Yeah.
The good times. We had the bad times.
Brought us all together.
Poor RDT tried to give us his image, and it's ruined his sound again. So nothing made a difference. He tried. I mean, he'll have to do some sort of like funny thing for the rest of the podcast too. So when he leaves Skype, it'll freeze on something that's funny. But yeah, still playing GTA after all these years. We still have fun with it.
I mean, the bare bones of the game has allowed us to play for so long, so that's good. Good job to those who coded it to begin with. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, and it's been the community that's been built around it that's kept it alive, I would say.
Yeah.
So should we open up the phone bank at this point before we get on to the regular segments?
Bank. That sounds good.
You can get
in here. You got a question for me? You got a question for Hammer? You got a question for RDT? You go ahead and hop in the phone bank. All right, now, since nobody has any of those, if you got a question about for Bruff about GTA, go ahead and get in there right now. You can talk to him if you're a subscriber. Go ahead. If you want to ask him questions about 5M, he doesn't know because he's actually not part of that team in any way, shape, or form. Get in there real quick and ask him. So he
last
can tell
chance
you
to
that
ask us questions for the decade. Last chance to ask Nos a question for God knows how long.
Forever.
Who knows? You never know when Nos will turn up on these podcasts these days.
I mean, you can even go with the classic. What are your New Year's resolutions?
Don't ask that anybody because I don't have anything.
You have the benefit of being on the podcast, being part of history, being part of the last question time of the decade.
Yes. So whilst that's happening, whilst people are getting in the phone bank or not getting in the phone bank,
no, nobody's getting in the phone
bank. Last episode follow up.
I did my best to bring the people what they want, but
T-Top, that's a great question. You should hop in the old Discord, and I'm not gonna answer your text questions.
Yeah,
okay?
You got to get in there and ask it for
text
realsies.
Questions are done.
We're not actually on last episode follow up yet. It's gaming news. The only bit of gaming news I wrote down.
I'll be right back.
What? Oh, okay. Xbox Series X. Have we all seen it?
I mean, it seems pretty cool that it's going to have like so much backwards compatibility. I think that's cool. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, I like that they're aiming to make all Xbox games playable, right? Regardless of platform.
Yeah.
All the previous ones. That's good.
I mean, that needs to happen because I mean there were some Xbox exclusives that don't need to be lost to just time, you know.
Yeah.
So that absolutely needs to happen. So hopefully, you know, I applaud them. Like Microsoft, like I still have no desire to own an Xbox, right? Because there's just no point for me to own an Xbox. But Microsoft has really shown themselves, like at least in this console generation, to be like the good guys.
Yeah,
and hopefully they continue to do
they've had to do that, I suppose, because they started out so badly.
Yeah, they've really righted the ship for sure.
What about you, RDT? Have you seen anything about the Series X? Are you gonna get it?
Well, it's gonna be expensive as all hell, I imagine.
Probably.
I already have a 1X. It's like, I don't know. Do I really care that much about my load times coming down, 50% or whatever the hell it is?
Yeah, I'm so tired of it. I haven't watched any of the announcement or whatever. I'm so sick of hearing load times. Like, hey, how about you just get me a playable frame rate? I'll wait 2 minutes for a playable frame rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you want fast load times? $50 SSD, bam, done. You done. Like, it's not that impressive to me.
I've seen people complain about the size of it because from the promo images, it does kind of look big, but when you compare it to the size of the controller that's in the image too, it's really not. It's like 3 controllers high, 1 controller wide. which isn't that big when you think
It's
about it.
a great unit of measurement, by the way.
Yeah, Xbox controllers.
Well, that's the only thing that you can compare it to at this time.
Look, and if that size ensures that the thing's not going to have cooling problems, then it just needs to happen. Like we can't limit ourselves. Like, I don't know. The focus on having something as tiny as possible at some point becomes a hindrance. Like, I mean, just to add a little bit of volume. And
it's a dumbass name, though. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I don't understand. Microsoft
They came out and said that the name isn't actually the Xbox One Series X. It's just Xbox.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's not even Xbox One Series X. It's just Xbox Series X, but it's not even that.
Xbox,
it's just Xbox.
That's what they came out and said. Like after,
but we already have an Xbox.
I'm aware of that.
We've already had one of those.
Microsoft aren't though. But yeah, that's what they've said. Every Xbox going forward will just be called the Xbox.
Everything before Phil Spencer didn't exist.
They're trying to get on the same sort of. They're trying to get the same sort of gravitas as like when I was growing up. Everyone was like, "Oh, go and play Nintendo," but they never mentioned what console it was. They just said, "Go play Nintendo." So they're trying to get that sort of brand into people's head. Which I guess is fair, but I think they're going to have a lot of... They may have a lot of Wii/Wii U problems, because when the Wii U came out, people were like, oh, it's just an accessory for the Wii. It's like, no, it's
where's the differentiation? Console. That's what that's what PlayStation has great with. They just PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5. Everyone knows.
That easy.
I've got a PS4 right here. Oh, that's a PS5? Okay, that's the next one. It's so easy.
Yeah, if anything, they could have kept on going with like rotations, degrees. You know, like 360 was easy to say.
720, 180. Eventually, the year is 2050. We have the Xbox 5000.
You know, that would even make more sense to me.
I've told the story of why the Xbox 360 was called the Xbox 360 on the podcast before. Because they had like a group of people, like a marketing group, and they were like, here's your options for the new name. What would you prefer to buy, Xbox 2 or Xbox 360? And they were like, well, 360, because 360 is more than 2.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Like, all right, we're going for the 360 then. So I mean,
solid research.
Their marketing team isn't the best. Let's put it that way.
I hope it's successful for them, but
I think it's a nice looking unit. I think they've done a really nice
absolute unit. That one is an absolute unit.
I think
look at the size of this lad.
They've done a really good job on what it looks like. I think it looks really nice. It appeals to me as a buyer of technology. It looks really nice. It's a lot better looking than the previous generation.
Definitely nails the box part of it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind the vertical aspect ratio, if you like. I don't mind it at all. I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, it seems to definitely divide opinion. I'm not really one way or another, but it seems like everybody, it's like Marmite, yeah, they love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
But I think the main problem Xbox has isn't anything to do with looks or how capable it's going to be. It's literally just the games. Because if you own a PC, there's no point in buying an Xbox.
Yeah, well, the Xbox is most certainly not for someone who owns a PC, for sure.
I suppose.
I don't... In fact, the way that Microsoft is going, I honestly think that they understand that. Like, I think that they kind of understand that they're not, like... No one who already owns a gaming PC is buying our Xbox. Like, that's just not a market that we're going to have. Like, we need to convince console buyers that our console is the best. Like, we need to focus on them.
I think if they went the route, there's a lot of rumors going around about the new Xbox. I'll call it the new Xbox rather than the Series X. There's a lot of people saying that it's actually going to be, rather than a console, it's going to be a modular PC, so that you can just extract branded Xbox parts and put in new parts to grow it as like the generation moves along. And it's also going to be running Windows 10 X, which is coming soon.
So they're selling me a computer.
Essentially, yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be a gaming.
We need the best console possible.
It's going to be.
It needs to have exchangeable parts so that it can grow over time, and a wide variety of games that span many generations.
A gaming PC for the living room, because we all know how well that went, don't we, Steam?
I was thinking of that, the whole Steam box all over again. But maybe they'll do it better, like if they just have the Xbox and rather than 50 different variations.
I don't necessarily mind the introduction of a simplified PC that you can build up over time, like whipping parts out and plugging stuff back in would be a lot easier than, building a PC and whatnot for people that don't know how to do it. I don't necessarily mind that, but we'll see.
Oh, no, I don't mind it either. I think it's obviously a good idea because people who have been putting together PCs have been doing the same thing for 30 years. It's a good idea. So
I think
if you can simplify that process, then that's fantastic.
Because especially with like games these days and the games that run on a PlayStation and an Xbox, they're just the same as what you're going to get. Like the architecture's all the same as the PC anyway, so they're just PCs. So if you're gonna, if that's how it is, which is how it is, you might as well lean into it. So we'll see. We'll see how they go with it. I'm excited for the next console generation.
Yeah, me too. I'll probably go for a PS5 anyway because I've had Sony consoles since I was like 10 years old. No, 11 years old. And I will always have Sony consoles probably, but I swear to God, if it looks anything like the PS5 dev kit,
it looks so stupid.
Happy.
Yeah, what, that big V thing?
It's a big V. It's a big V. Please don't make it anything like that. It's got to look nice.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Please don't make it look anything like a big giant V, please. Sorry.
It's a V for 5.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. V for 5.
For in the launch day title, Grand Theft Auto 5,
probably
with the brand new GTA Online update.
I would be genuinely surprised if Rockstar didn't release GTA 5 again for PS5 and Xbox.
They can't. They can't.
GTA 5 is going to be the Skyrim
of they can.
I think they will.
If you met Todd Howard, you can port as many times as you want.
They just make the PC. They take the PC version, put the graphical settings to what it needs to be for those consoles, and then there you go. They're done. GTA again.
They can't do.
I think they will.
Of course they can.
No,
they can. Look, Skyrim has.
Can we put a bet on right now? Can we put a bet on right now? I'm going to bet. I'm going to bet £10 British.
I would happily take that bet.
I'll take that bet too.
British pounds that they will not launch GTA 5 on.
I don't know what a pound is, but I'll lay down the bet.
How is this going to work? Are you like RDT? What do you think? Do you think they're going to release it or not?
By the time the new console releases, Scotland will be in the Euro anyway. So
I know, yeah, probably. £10 won't mean anything.
I do believe they'll release Skyrim on it. But if everything's going to be backwards compatible, I kind of don't see any reason why they would re-release it.
Exactly.
Better graphics, and they want to sell. They want to get, they want to be the best-selling game of all time. They already hit the 100 mil. They want to get to the absolute top.
Man.
I think they'll re-release the game for sure.
I think they will. I think it'll be 60 FPS.
Or at the very least, they'll be like enhanced on PS5. Like, is that can we go to that?
I think if it's enhanced, if it's not fully re-released, we shouldn't. The bet should
it'll be enhanced,
null and void because it's kind of half and half.
Series X. Yeah.
I agree, Adam. I agree.
Okay, are you getting in on this bet, RDT, or is it just us three?
10
British
he doesn't have any
pounds.
British pounds, so
I do have to lose £10, but I don't know. Like, it's the holidays.
How much is £10 in dollars these days?
Like $100 or something like that.
Probably.
$13 exactly.
all right. Now, are we locking in inflation? Because, the British pound is probably going to go down some more. So, you want to go ahead and lock that in? Because it might be worth like half a US dollar.
Let's go ahead and lock that in.
Let's go lock that in. £10 or $13.
Okay, so it's me and Hammer versus you two. That they're not going to re-release it.
You don't?
so.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. All right.
All right, I'm in on it.
All right. Cool. We'll see. And if it's just an enhanced version of the other game, then nobody wins.
Okay.
Fair.
All right. Last episode follow-up. What do we have any?
Oh no.
So the last episode was episode number 49, returning from the longest break. We've had
How was it
33 comments.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Last episode on YouTube, nobody watched. It was the lowest viewed one of all time.
Chat, sort yourself out. Get the podcast watched on YouTube so that we can get.
Or at least go to the video and comment.
Let's get.
You already
paid
know
for
what the
doing
word
so.
is going to be in advance.
We're busting our humps to produce quality content for you, and this is the best that you can do.
Well, I wouldn't say it goes as far as busting our humps, but we're working to some degree.
So, how many comments do we think mentioned 30? Because that was the number.
Oh, 30, of course.
The thing that we had
This is
to
my
mention.
first podcast of being 30.
I'm disappointed that we actually got 30 comments. I wish we wouldn't have gotten 30 comments. That would have been pretty funny.
Yeah. I'll go for 20 out of the 33.
20 out of the 33. All right, Nos.
Like 5.
I could actually be it could be either that or the other way. Like it's going to be pitifully low or a big portion, I think.
I say 5.
RDT.
15.
Ooh, 15. Okay.
Splitting the difference. Okay, the correct answer was 14.
Hey, I win.
Ah, good.
No, RDT wins. He
No,
was
we're not
one
doing
away.
We're not doing this.
This
50
isn't
50
bloody-
How many
times.
times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Oh my god.
Nah, RDT wins. Well done, RDT.
Good job, Nas. Nas got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, RDT.
How
Thank
how
you.
a score of 5 would win in that scenario over being one
Because
away?
if you go over, you
I know, but we're
lose.
not playing that game.
We do this
Right.
every
Every
podcast.
single time. Oh man.
Thank you to Phil for doing your homework. He has highlighted one comment that he wants me to read, and that's from James King James. Nos, you might
Yes.
recognize this one. James King James says, "When I die, I want Nos to lower me into the ground so he can let me down one last time."
That was
To
a
which
good
I
comment.
replied, to
To
which I
Nos
replied,
replied,
I'll probably be working during your funeral, dude. So sorry, man. I won't be able to make it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was a good comment, Shane. I like that.
thank you, James King James, for the comment, and thank you, Phil, for doing your homework.
RDT, how long do we have?
Game starts in 20 minutes.
20
So-
minutes. All right, so we got to
We've
bash
got
out
two-
these
We've got
questions.
two callers in the in the phone bank. So shall we push on with those?
Yeah.
Have you screened them or no?
Nah, we don't do that anymore. I'm a
Oh.
host now.
This
Oh,
is in
right,
your
right.
absence.
Right. Okay. Things have changed already, man. You people have changed.
Somebody kick Voodoo. Somebody kick Voodoo Cthulhu right now.
Because he said go
All
Cowboys.
right, got you. Got you. I got you.
Wow.
There you go. You good.
Right. So first up with a question, because we're doing it in alphabetical order. We're doing K Dog Honda. Welcome.
Hey, welcome to the Choking Hazard podcast. What's your question? Who's your question for? What's your question?
God, you've really gotten worse over
Yes,
the
it's
absence.
bad. Yes, I'm not in the swing of things anymore. I'm old and washed up. He needs to unmute himself.
K
Come on
Dog,
now.
speak to us.
He's probably gone AFK. Don't you just love that when people get in the phone bank and then it's like, oh, now's the time. Now's the time. Go get that drink.
All right. Anyway, thanks.
What
for
a
that,
great
K-Dog.
question.
Well, at least it got it over with
really
quick.
good
We're on a
one.
bit of a time limit here, so that was a quick question.
Yeah, thanks for that. So next up, we've got Salient Phoenix.
Hey, welcome to Choking Hazard podcast. Who's your question for? What's your question? Are they server muted? Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Hello?
Hello.
My question is for all you guys.
So it's for Bruh.
Firstly,
same joke every week.
Firstly, I want to say greetings from Canada, and I always love you guys' content.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Wow,
So my question is, I don't know if it's been asked before, but what currently stagnant franchise of gaming would you want to be brought back, or at least with one game release?
Mine's Mass Effect easily. So
Yes. Yeah.
They're already working on a new Mass Effect, so don't.
well, they've said something, but you can't say Half-Life in the chat. That's already coming back.
You know what? No, I just thought of something. I want a new driver game. That's what I want. I want a driver game. Dude, that'd be nice. But with
I know what my personal pick would be though.
What's yours?
The Midnight Club franchise.
That
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's
pretty
good
good.
one.
So I feel like Rockstar can make a good new street racing game.
Yeah, they've got all the ability to do that. An arcadey / still okay semi-serious racing game.
Yeah.
What about you, RDT?
Advanced handling flags.
I'm seeing both of my answers in chat from two people right there. 100% Bully, obviously. That's clearly bring back Bully. And Skate. We need another
Skate. I didn't even think
Skate
of
for sure.
Yeah, we need a new Skate. Have you seen Session on PC? Is it any good?
I heard it's tough. I heard it's like really difficult.
I need to buy it.
I never played Skate.
Buy it. You should.
You're missing out on like a whole generation of.
I mean,
gaming.
I played
Like,
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, whatever number it was, but
at all.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Okay.
Not the same.
Yeah, I would second RDT and chat and say Bully needs a new up to date game. I think.
I mean, I definitely think there should be a new one, but I don't know if I would consider that as like a franchise that went stagnant. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
I suppose you're right because there was only.
It's just one game.
So,
I mean, it could just exist as one game. So
they could honestly just do the Resident Evil remake route and just do the same game over again, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, the Resident Evil remake, they chucked in a bunch of extra stuff, did they not?
Yeah, they did for sure. Yeah. But it would. I mean, like they could redo the same story and kind of make it more modern, and I'd be cool with that.
I mean, in a lot of ways, Bully was was quite far ahead of its time because I mean, you could kiss boys in it. Which was ahead of its time.
Man, that's sinful behavior.
That wasn't in the Alabama version of the game.
That must have been omitted from my version. I didn't do that.
All right, we should move on. We're running out of time.
Okay, we'll get K-Dog's
back. Thank you, City of Phoenix, for the question.
Yes, thank you. We didn't tell him
Hopefully he heard it on the stream because we didn't hear that in reality.
Oh, hey, welcome to the show. What's your question? Quick, come on.
All right, long time listener. Back
Yeah. Okay, save it. What's your
we
question?
got no time. Just give us.
We have 10 minutes.
Okay. What's your future? Where do you see yourselves in a year?
Right here. Right here in this exact room, probably doing this podcast.
Doing G-Fred.
Doing the Snow Freds. Doing at least in 1 year, I imagine.
Starting a new decade, and you're asking us what we're going to be doing in a year. I would have thought, like, where do you think we're going to be in 2030?
Yeah, in a decade.
30.
At the end of 2029, where are we going to be?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I'm going to be dead by then, don't you?
Whoa, no.
I feel like 10 years is too much though. Like I could never have imagined being here when I was 19. So to then think about what I'm probably GTG Fred on GTA 6. That's probably right.
Jesse saying no, still not partnered.
Definitely won't be partnered on Twitch. That's for sure. Also, K-Dog, we had to mute you because your mic was feeding back, so give us a second. Man, I see myself hopefully with more cars. Hopefully I'll have more cars. Maybe I'll have 7, 8. Yeah, 8's a good number. I mean, I'd like to have one for each day plus one spare. So 8's a really good number. I think that's a solid
Oh
number.
my god.
But
I hope that doesn't come true. I hate to be your dream killer, but I hope that does not happen.
Yeah.
why not? What's wrong
ridiculous.
with having 8
It's
vehicles?
too many cars.
Yeah.
It's not if they. Why? What is too many cars? What?
You're gonna be
Why
paying
is
rent and insurance?
insurance very cheap? Very cheap. Liability insurance very cheap.
All right. Are we? Let's get through these answers. Need answers.
Whoa. Okay. In a year's time, I think I hope the country is in a better state.
Yep.
But
Mine too.
I hope to be spending a lot more time with Jesse, and moving forward together.
Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, the crying emoji. Oh, isn't it lovely? He's all grown up.
Isn't she lovely?
Did you answer RDT? Where you going to be in a year's time?
Oof, who's to say? Maybe looking for. Well, I don't know. I think my goal is to maybe move down to Philly again, get a job down there in a year.
Yeah.
Maybe work in my job for another year or so, get some more experience. But it all depends on how it goes. I'm coming up on 2 years at my job. Depending on how they see my position and if they want to promote me, then maybe I'll stick to New York. Who knows?
So you would consider leaving the World Trade Center? Isn't that like meant to be the pinnacle where everyone wants to go?
Yeah, totally.
You're done with New York life already.
I mean,
it's tough, man.
Philly itself has quite a thriving business district, so I think you would probably be quite well suited moving to Philly.
Yeah, that was the plan when I was leaving college, but it just didn't come to fruition.
Using that experience that you learn, that'll be fantastic for you, I reckon.
Jesus Christ, that person that just commented that. Good Lord.
Oh, wow.
No, it's too soon.
No, too soon. Too soon. Hasn't even been a decade yet.
That happened in 2001. It's too soon to make
two
jokes
decades.
about. All right, and that's 9/11 and the death of Dale Earnhardt Sr. You don't make jokes about either of those things.
All right.
Because both of those are bad.
Thank you, K-Dog. Thank you for the question.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Unserver mute the man before you.
You
take
didn't
him
actually
out.
server mute him. You just
he
muted him.
He
yourself.
wasn't ever server muted, but
Oh, I muted him.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just fixed it for myself. Oh.
I fixed it for myself too, but yeah. So are we letting the apple juice minute die? It would be about that time now, but what are you?
It's
totally.
gone.
Yeah, we've reached episode 50. That's
forever.
it. It's time. It's done. We're done.
Right.
All right, and RDT's no longer drinking. There you go.
Turned over.
I
and
think
you're
I've
leaving.
taken
Taken over. I think I've taken over. I'm pretty. I'm getting there.
Even I had a beer for this one. I felt like I needed it after the way the pre-show was going. So
That's exactly how I felt. That's what I started thinking too.
all right, so let's do the choke of the week, which hasn't been
Do we
really
have
choke
to?
of the week. We have to. Are they all
Only one
GTA
of them's
clips?
from
Let's check.
GTA.
Are they...
Only
Really?
one of them's from GTA.
Only one of them
Ooh,
GTA.
then I have two
There
to
you
pick
go.
from.
I have two to
One
pick
doesn't-
from, just on
One
general
doesn't win
principle.
by default. That's
All
really
right.
cool.
Are we ready to play? If you're listening to this, you need to go watch the video because that's where you're gonna see this. But let's watch. Are we ready? Should I
Yep.
start it? All right, I'm
Yes.
starting it now.
Okay. We're in a. What is this? What's this car?
This is
The Drifter? Right?
Drafter, 8F Drafter.
Drafter.
Don't like it.
You don't like it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so we
he
had a
did
bit of a mess up on the jump there.
Using a drafter in the stunt race against an Italy, that's bold. It's doing
That's a
all
bold
right.
strategy,
I mean,
Cotton. Let's see if it pays out for
It's
it.
a whole new meta these days, bro.
yeah. He was in the lead and he kind of lost it. Is this because so he basically okay.
Oh, and this. Okay, he's choked. We're in first.
There you go.
No,
Wait,
no
what on
way.
earth is
What just happened?
He pushed him across the line after choking.
Did he
wow.
win?
The 8F
okay.
drafter won. The
Okay, so that was a
Italy
choke.
the Italy choked it after the 8F drafter had already choked it.
All right, we're in the next clip here.
What
Good
game is
game,
this?
Mafia 3.
Wow.
Yes. Oh, we've lost traction going around the corner in the wet in this muscle car. We're back to the back of the pack now.
Ooh,
I like how
we're in the
everyone
lead.
sped up their clips.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate the speeding up of the clip so we don't have to skip. Good job.
Yes, that's a big deal. Oh man, the traffic
Trade
getting in
paint
the way.
Through the traffic.
Ooh.
That's not gone so
Ooh,
well.
second place there, not hitting the apex of that turn.
We're having some struggles.
Man, I
Trying to
didn't
get
know the
back.
racing in Mafia 3 was, like, real. I didn't know
Yeah.
this is...
This
Man, I'll
is
have
cool.
to retry this game.
Got himself back into the lead. Bit of a dodgy
Mafia
takeout.
3's
Oh,
fun.
and then the finish line.
Bit repetitive.
And then straight into the
Oh,
traffic. No! And then loses. Wow. That's painful.
Oh, Jesus.
Right at the end before the line.
Hey,
Grim.
420, though, is the finishing time. That's a win in
Ayo.
itself. Nice.
It up.
That's the weed number. All right,
Code
next
4.
clip.
Modern Warfare.
Yes, the best Call of Duty by far.
So if nobody knows, this is the Mile High challenge. You've got to complete it in like a minute, I guess.
A minute, okay.
Yeah, so you've got to locate a VIP.
Damn, he's
and
getting lit
help
up.
out.
Okay,
Yeah.
the VIP, so he's got 35 seconds left, okay.
Dude, I'm so, like, watching so many speedruns of this, I'm so desensitized to, like, a normal human being playing this
Playing the
mission.
game, yeah.
Damn,
Because
he's
go
flashbang
watch the
Hello.
speedruns from Mile High Club. They're insane.
Oh yeah.
Good God.
How quick? Like how many seconds are we talking?
I don't know, maybe we should watch one before we leave.
Okay.
It's getting
for
very
reference.
close to
Yeah,
the time.
10 seconds to
Yeah.
go.
Just
Yeah.
got
Hostage
shot in
executed
the face 14.
in 3 seconds.
Tell me.
Did he just kill the Why did he shoot a second time?
Double tap. You've got to double tap.
Oh, no!
Friendly fire will not be tolerated.
Oh my god. Okay.
Not bad, but it's not hard to improve on garbage.
If you get a clip of a speedrun of that mission, we'll see it.
Yeah, here.
So, for those in the
just trying
chat,
to look at the
vote
record.
on who you thought was the best choke for this week. Choke 1, choke 2, choke 3. Which was the best choke? Vote now. There's 470 of you watching. That's the most we've ever had watching a podcast. Mainly because it's in the middle of 2 GTA portions and everybody's just waiting for the G-Freds after this is done. But still, it still counts. Yeah, whilst people are voting. whilst people
Don't
are-
put it in chat. Click the bloody link, you morons.
Yeah, don't put it in chat. Click the link, vote on the poll.
I feel like that guy wasted a lot of time.
That's a good marketing practice.
I'm
It
trying
is.
to find the world record.
If you're here watching, subscribe to the Choking Hazard Podcast YouTube channel.
Yes.
YouTube.com/Choking Hazard Gaming.
While we wait, hang on a second. So, you guys have it. We didn't mention it in the podcast, but GTA sprung snow on us, quite early this year, which is very nice of them. I've got a clip of me playing Euro Truck Simulator in the snow earlier today. Let me show you what it's like in Euro Truck Simulator with the snow. There you go, bruv. There's a clip for you.
Okay. Let me see. Slippery when wet, this is called.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
speedrun.com
Holy
is being slow.
Jesus! It just completely.
Yeah, that was my trailer spinning round for me, and it was quite heavy. So
Oh,
it
wow.
spun me around like
That was a violent spin.
Yes. You think it? You oh, it's so easy on GTA in the snow. Oh, it's so easy driving. Not easy on Euro Truck.
Not
let me tell
Euro
you.
Truck, no. Bloody hell. Alright, so by the way, Nos, since I'm doing G-Fred in the snow on PC after this podcast.
No.
I'll join.
No.
I'm drunk.
Absolutely
You're not going to join?
No. It's a
I thought
waste
I
of
would
my
pose
time.
the question anyway.
I'll join.
Here you go. If you want something to compare that run of Mile High Club, this is the veteran world it is a world record at some point. I don't know if it's a current world record, but still very impressive.
Okay, here we
How
go.
long is it? Like 10 seconds.
So locate the
24.3
VIP.
seconds.
Now we're doing it speedrun terms.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's so impressive. I love watching this speed run as well as the FNG speed run, like the little training segment you do at the beginning of COD 4 with Captain Price.
It's amazing how he looks down, like for the like it's just very specific moments to. Oh wow, the movement he's
Yes.
doing to get the better shot on the hostage as well.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow,
Good grief.
and then you got to exit the plane in. That's impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah, speed
great.
runs are cool. Speed runs are cool.
They are. It's true.
Damn,
All right.
the New York Giants and the Washington racist names are in a barn burner of a game right now.
All right, well let's get this done so you can go watch your game.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got to go to work.
What's the deal on the choke of the week?
We have 135 people that have voted.
There are 400 of you people here. 400.
Nobody's watching.
And you
though.
can't click on a straw poll?
Well,
Like-
no, well,
Nas's triumphant return.
Do you think
Well,
this
no.
content is free? All right. Look, you when you started watching this, you signed into an agreement that you would just go, don't even vote. It doesn't even matter. Just go click an option. All right, just so we feel better about ourselves. It's ridiculous. There are 400 of you, and you're so lazy that you cannot do 2 clicks of your mouse.
This is why the
or-
world is like it is, because people don't actually vote.
139
Exactly.
votes now.
To be fair,
Exactly.
139.
Absolute vote is not an option.
The amount of votes that
Last
we
night-
have today is still more than what we normally have viewers on a normal podcast. So I guess we
That's
can't.
true, but it's
I'm doing this purely for the reaction. Don't show it on stream, bruv. But this is the advert that I got in the straw poll.
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, show this on stream. I'll show it on the stream.
I'm showing it on the stream.
There's no nudity. It's fine.
I suddenly don't want to watch football.
Good grief.
All right, what are the votes?
Gentlemen, what are your choices?
I think vote Chalk 3 was my favorite.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
Yeah, I like the COD 4 one. I like that. That made me happy.
Cool. Well, in third place
Is the
we've
COD
got-
4 one?
Is the COD 4 one? Yeah, well done.
Of course.
Actually, with your votes, that makes it second. So
Oh, okay.
You've-
Oh well, we did something at
Swear to
least.
the Lord on high if this GTA clip won.
Yeah.
no,
please.
it was actually
Okay.
the Mafia 3
Oh,
choice
good.
that won.
Really?
All right, that's good.
Sure.
I'm all right with
All
that.
right, that's fine. That's fine.
Well done, Gil Viper. You're terrible at Mafia 3.
Yeah, good job, Gil Viper. You are horrible.
yeah, that's you know what? I'm all right with that.
I sent that
Joke
clip like
one.
4 or 5 times and it finally got featured and I won. Good job, Gil Viper. See, there you go. If you don't get in the 3 final slots each week, feel free to resubmit.
Yes.
Gil Viper, you're a mod friend. I only put you in when you've got a chance of winning. You know? So choke number 1 was submitted by Loopy, and choke number 3 was submitted by Matty H. So thank you for the
Yes.
jokes,
Hey,
everybody.
guys.
Thank
All
you for
right.
the non-GTA chokes. That's great. And the man is right. Mafia 3 has good driving physics. Mafia.
There was an honourable mention for Ben L, who had a Gran Turismo choke, which was 5 minutes and 40 odd seconds long. It was a lap of the Nürburgring for a time trial, and he biffed it on the last corner.
No,
Yeah,
wow.
ain't nobody got time for that.
nobody's got time for
But
that.
an honorary mention at least.
honorary mention. Yeah.
Resubmitted. It might not be an honorary mention next time.
Yeah.
So
All right. Andy T's going to go watch a football team win or lose. And win. All right,
Win,
okay.
yeah.
Win is the only
There's
option.
no
Sorry.
I should
And
know that. I mean, I'm an Alabama fan. Alabama never loses. So
I'm gonna play some G-Freds. So, what is
All
our
right.
word going to be for this week, this month? Decade?
Pizza.
Work decade in it? Wait.
Miata. Just another Miata.
No, let's do decade. Since it's the end of the decade, you've got to work into your comment on YouTube when it goes up on 24th, Christmas special. You got to work into the word. You got to work into your comment the word decade. For our
Sounds
50th.
good.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, some of you do when we put it up.
Yes.
And thank you, Nos, for gracing us with your presence for
You are
50th
quite
special
welcome.
episode.
I mean, I'm always out to help those that are less fortunate by brightening up their life with my presence. So I'm really glad that I could be here.
All right. Do you want to say goodbye, guys?
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye,
guys.
I'm gonna go buy more cars. See you in 3 months.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.